Hello, and welcome to everybody in the human design entrepreneurs community. We had a bit of a slow start with a tech delay, but we should be good to go now. I'm here with Dave. Dave has a wealth of information on this topic we're going to be discussing on nurturing your audience. But let me know if you can see this by commenting in the chat, #live. If you're watching this
I
live,
see us, James.
now,
For everyone, we did a lot of testing to make this work for you guys, a lot of tech hurdles. But James, I just saw us in the group. Success.
Fantastic. Okay, so if you're here now, also let us know in the chat, what is your human design type? Are you a 4/6? Are you a 2/4? I'm a 1/3 emotional authority projector. And I'm going to be handing it off to Dave here to do the training. But to kind of start things off, I just want to share with Dave a little bit about this community and why this is such an important topic for people that they absolutely would want to hear about. It's the number one problem that I hear is there's so much love and devotion behind their business and wanting to nurture. But then there's always this problem of not wanting to pitch too much or push or come off that way. And I know this is something that you are an absolute master at. So nurturing is something that I'll just share that I was researching it this morning, and the origins of this word are from French and Latin, which it actually derives itself from the word of nutrients. It's like good nutrients and sustenance. In the human design chart, it comes from gate 50, which is the gate of nurturing, and it's actually the channel of sustenance. What you see out there a lot of times, which Dave is going to be talking kind of the antithesis of non-nurturing content, is more like fast food content. It doesn't have a lot of quality or nutrients or sustenance to it. And so I'm going to be passing this off to Dave here to talk more about it and go through some slides. So Dave, it's all yours.
James, thanks. And for everyone who's attending with us live or watching the replay, just comment below and let us know that you're here. I really appreciate you taking time to invest in yourself and your business. And we got a lot packed in for you today. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen here. And we're going to go through some strategies. This is going to be very interactive today. So I need you to be ready to type and share and respond. Let me go into presentation mode. Today, we're talking about simplified sales. And like James talked about, a big piece of the strategy that we're going to be showing you today is about authenticity. How do you make sales in a simpler, easier way that feels good? It doesn't feel slimy. It doesn't feel like you're having to go into salesman mode. So that's what we're talking about today, is simplified sales. I got a couple of questions. And again, if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay, I do ask that you respond just so I know where your business is at. So first question is, who here is using Facebook in some way for business? Can you just type business in the chat if you're using Facebook for business? You're not just using Facebook for personal use. I know everyone here is either running some sort of business or is aspiring to start some sort of business. But the reason why I asked this question is I just want to know who's already using Facebook and the business tools built into Facebook to grow their business. And then James, I'll ask you to take a look at the responses for me in a second. You can let me know what people are saying. The second question is, what's one thing, assuming that you are using Facebook for business, what's one thing that you'd like to improve about how Facebook is working for you in terms of building your business? And the reason why I ask this question is because I want to make sure that today, all of your struggles or hurdles or wishes, all of them are covered when it comes to using Facebook to grow your business. And so any questions or any requests that you have for a way that Facebook could work better for your business, just drop those in the chat. James, what are you seeing? Are people using Facebook for business?
Yes, they are. I see people who are saying business, and this is definitely a topic that they would love to hear about.
And have we had any comments come in on this second question here about something that they'd like to improve about the way Facebook is working for them for their business right now?
I don't see it at the moment, but I think this is a big topic. It's not always easy to put into a few words for them.
If you guys are watching live, do put in anything that you're struggling with or that you'd like to improve about how Facebook works. And if you watch this on replay, definitely let us know, what would you like to see improve about how Facebook helps your business grow? So I'm going to start out by telling you guys a little bit of a story here, because I know we don't know each other that well yet. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story. This is my $1 million, and I'll put it in air quotes, mistake. So my former career, this was about 16 years ago. I used to be a personal trainer and a gym owner. And I was looking to transition my in-person business into online. I wanted to create an online course and have online clients, but I didn't know anything about marketing really back then. I didn't know about online marketing. And so I thought, like most people do, I thought, okay, if I'm gonna have an online business, I need to run some Facebook ads. And the one thing that I did know about running Facebook ads is back then, in order to run a Facebook ad, you needed a business page. And so I thought, great, I'm going to go and create my very first business page. And I went and created what I thought was a business page, but the mistake was I had actually created a Facebook group. And you can see this picture right here. This is my very first Facebook group that I ever created. Now, lo and behold, I started using this group, realized after a little while it wasn't a business page, it wasn't what I needed, but I started attracting new members to the group, and they started buying my products, buying my services. And this is actually how I got my first 195 online clients. You can see the members here. This was a paid for group. There was 195 paying clients in this group. And this opened my eyes to the world of organic Facebook marketing, getting clients, building business, all through methods aside from paying Facebook for ads. So this silly little Facebook, I say it was a mistake, a fortunate mistake. It led to a hugely profitable business. And this is key, a personal brand. Who here, if you could just put in the chat, who here would like to build a personal brand where your brand is you? People hear your name and they say, oh, that's the girl who does this, or that's the guy who's an expert in this. That's what I did, is I used Facebook to build a personal brand. And you can see here, this led to me actually being chosen as the top personal trainer in all of Canada. And I kind of laugh about this because am I the best personal trainer, or was I back then? I'm obviously not a personal trainer anymore, but was I actually the best personal trainer in Canada? No, but I'd done a great job of using Facebook to build my personal brand. James, do you know, is this something that your audience would be interested in, building a personal brand for their business?
Absolutely, Dave. If one thing people love here is to be themselves and be authentic and be genuine. So they're wanting to infuse that and integrate it into their brand and their business.
Exactly. And that's what you can do when you have a powerful personal brand. You are just being you, and you're getting business because of who you are. So I leveraged this personal brand and went on to build many multiple $1 million online businesses. The first one, as I mentioned, was in fitness, and then built an affiliate business, and then an e-commerce business, and then a business coaching business. Here's my wife and I. We now run a software business. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. And all of those businesses, they had one thing in common. You probably guessed what it was. They all drove traffic from Facebook to the business. That's basically all I've ever used as social media. I dabbled in some Pinterest and some Twitter back in the day when it was called Twitter and not X, but I kept on coming back to Facebook. And that gives me the confidence that in the next hour, here's what I can deliver to you. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a strategy for getting more leads from Facebook. You're going to see a way to improve your targeting so you get better quality leads. You're going to get more views on your posts, better engagement from your leads, which leads to faster nurturing. So those leads are interested in buying at a quicker rate. You'll be able to make more offers to your leads, which leads to us having an increased closing rate, more sales. And I know you look at that list and maybe you're thinking that looks like a lot of promises, but I've been in this for years and years and years. And the system that we're going to look at today, it just works. All you need to do is understand the system and put it into practice. Now, sometimes I do a lot of speaking in events like this and in live events as well. And oftentimes I'll get a comment or a pushback from people saying, but Dave, isn't Facebook dying? Isn't it for old people? And I kind of chuckle when people say that, because here's the most recent stats. This shows the most popular social media platforms in 2024. What do you notice? Facebook is by far and away the most popular platform with over 3 billion monthly active users on Facebook. So in summary, your leads, they're on Facebook. The real question is, how do you reach those leads? Now, historically, there's been two ways to use Facebook. The first way was your personal profile. And if you're old like me and you've been around since the early days of Facebook, you know that when Facebook first started, this is all there was. There was a personal profile where you'd share about your life and about your family and about your travels and about your pets. That's all it was. And then to monetize Facebook, of course, Facebook needs to make money. They launched business pages. And they said, okay, if you're going to be using Facebook for business, you better do it over here on a business page. And we want you to advertise. And that's how Facebook's going to make money. Now, back again in the day, Mark Zuckerberg was very, very clear. The team at Facebook was very clear. Your personal profile is not for business. Your personal profile is for personal things, personal posts, and your business page, that's where you've got to go do business. Now, question for you guys. Actually, I'd love to hear answers in the chat here. James, I'm going to ask you as well. James, I don't know if you're a sports guy. Is there a sports team that you just hate? You could never cheer for that sports team?
Yeah. The Sonics, the Seattle Sonics were my team, and they're not a team anymore. So anybody that played against them.
Okay.
Portland Trailblazers.
Portland Trailblazers, just down the street from where Seattle used to play.
Yeah.
Think about this. I want everyone who's watching this, think about this. Think about that team, if you're a sports person, who you could never cheer for. They're the arch nemesis or the rival of your team. For me, I'm from Canada. I grew up in Toronto. Anyone who knows anything about hockey would know that the Toronto Maple Leafs, their nemesis is the Montreal Canadiens. I could never cheer for the Canadiens. I could never jump ship. And that's how Mark Zuckerberg was for a long time. He was saying, do not use your personal profile for business. You have to use a business page. But lo and behold, just over the last couple of years, about the last 2 years, Mark Zuckerberg, he jumped ship. He started cheering for the other team, so to speak. And now he's saying, I love organic marketing. I love it when people are building their businesses through their personal profiles. And you might think, well, why? Why would he change? Why would he root for the other team? It's clearly in his advantage to get people spending money on ads, right? But Zuckerberg, he's a smart guy, and he realized something. He realized two things. He realized, first off, many business owners like you guys and like myself, we're probably going to use our personal profiles for business anyway. So why fight us? And then the second thing he realized is if he pushes business owners off Facebook and says, don't advertise, don't promote your business, don't grow your business using your profile, what will happen? Well, we could start flocking elsewhere, right? We could end up on TikTok. We could end up on YouTube, end up on his competing platforms. And so Zuckerberg said, okay, stay with me here. I'm actually going to make it easy for you to grow your business through your personal profile. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Some proof that this is true. Zuckerberg, this is quite recent actually, over the last year, he's taken all these business building tools that used to be reserved for business pages, and he said, hey, I'm going to give you these in your personal profile as well. I want your business to succeed. I just took a screenshot from some of the results I've been getting through my personal profile, and it's amazing. It's so clear that Facebook wants us, business owners, to succeed on Facebook. Just take a look. Facebook, it just gave me over 200% increase in my post engagement. Reactions are way up. Comments, almost 400% increase. All these better results are coming because Facebook is saying, hey, business owners, use Facebook, use your profile. We're going to support you. We want you to grow your business, even without ads, because we know you're going to make Facebook, the platform, a better place. So the question is, are you ready to take advantage of this? Because we're going to go through a lot today. Again, today the topic is simplified sales. It's Facebook's newest and easiest strategy for turning leads into paying clients. Here's where we're going. And I know looking at this, you might think, oh, that looks overwhelming, or what the heck is this all about? But we're going to break this down by the end of this presentation. So in about an hour, we're going to spend about an hour going through this. You're going to have this system that you can build into your own Facebook personal profile to get leads, to nurture those leads, to do it authentically, and to turn those leads into paying clients. So let's get started. There's 3 steps we're going to go through. The first step is to grow your audience. And you'll see here right in the middle of the screen, it says your Facebook profile. And if you have a group, that's a great place to grow your audience as well. We're not focusing on business pages because we're not interested in spending money on ads. There's simpler ways to get leads and get clients on Facebook. Let's take a look at why this works using your profile and groups to build an audience. You probably know this already, but you have 5,000 friend spots on your personal profile. And hopefully by now, if you're not doing this already, please start doing this. You should be filling up those friend spots with leads. If you're using Facebook to grow your business, your friends should be your leads. So I took a screenshot from my profile, and you can see I'm almost maxed out here at 5,000. Those are leads. The second place that you can get leads is now, this is relatively recent, is Facebook has given us the ability to get followers, an unlimited number of followers. So here I've got 10,000 followers. And then, as I mentioned, if you have your own Facebook group, you can also have unlimited leads inside your Facebook group. This is a screenshot from one of my Facebook groups. So when you take these 3 spots and add them all up, there's 30,000 leads here, all for free. Well, how did I get this, and how can you start growing your leads in these locations as well? Let's take a look at the first way to grow your audience. And we're going to go through 5 ways to grow your audience. The first is through prospecting groups. And I understand maybe you've heard about marketing in other groups. I'm going to show you a way to market in other people's groups that doesn't feel sleazy. It doesn't feel like you're stealing leads from someone else or stealing clients from someone else. Let's take a look. The reason why using Facebook groups to find your ideal leads, the reason why that works so well is there's over 10 million groups on Facebook now, which means there's a group for every single niche out there. I'm going to show you a couple examples. Imagine you're targeting people based on stage of life. You're targeting parents. In this case, this is a group that I belong to for Canadian dads. Or imagine you're targeting people based on faith or based on values. Here's an example of a group that I belong to for Christian entrepreneurs. Or imagine you're targeting people based on products and services that they use, showing what they're interested in or what it is that they're building. Here's an example of a group I belong to, and it's for software founders. So there really is a group, probably dozens of groups for whatever your niche is. Well, what do we do with this? Yeah, you can go out and join some groups. How do you actually extract leads from those groups? Let me show you. I'm actually going to go over to our Unipro software. And this is the software tool that my wife and I developed. Just having run so many businesses using Facebook, there was a lot of stuff that we were doing manually and a lot of stuff that we were paying employees to do for us. And we thought, there's got to be a better way. And this is the software Unipro that we've developed over the last 3+ years to basically automate all the marketing that we would typically do on Facebook. So it automates it for us. I'm going to show you how you can take Unipro and get your ideal leads in a way that feels very natural. So I'm going to go here to, this is called the lead generator. And you can see there's different ways to generate leads inside of Unipro. And the first is what we were just talking about. It's going into groups that your ideal clients are hanging out and getting leads from those groups. So as an example, let's take a look here. Unipro, it has all the groups I belong to. I belong to a lot of groups here. And let's just say that I want to use this one, this high ticket coaching clients group. And I want Unipro to go get some leads for me. I'm going to tell Unipro for this test, I just want 5 leads. And I'm going to tell Unipro some other filtering ideas here. So I'm telling Unipro who to target. I want coaches or business owners, founders, CEOs, etc. You could tell Unipro whatever type of people it is you're looking for your leads. And similar, I'm telling Unipro who to avoid. These are people who I know aren't the best leads for me. I'm going to launch that. And what Unipro is doing right now is it's going over to that group, and it's not spamming the group. It doesn't require me to go and create any inauthentic content in that group. It's simply going through that group, using my filters, looking for ideal leads, and sending those leads a friend request. And the reason why this is so powerful is because it gives those leads the option of either choosing to join your audience or not. It's completely non-salesy. What happens is these leads, they're going to get a friend request from you. They're probably going to go over and take a look at your profile. So I'm going to have people coming over to my profile and they'll skim through your profile and they'll make a quick judgment. They'll say, okay, I think Dave, I like what he said here. Or they'll take a look at some of your content and they'll say, oh, this person's adding value. And then they'll accept your friend request. It's their choice. I'm not pressuring. You don't have to pressure. And so Unipro, it takes its time. You can see right now it's gone through 11 profiles in that group, and it's just going to go through all the profiles until it finds ideal leads. And here it found Nelson for me, certified life and executive business coach. This is exactly the type of lead that I want for my business. I'll stop this here, but Unipro will go to work and it does that for you. Let's go back here and we'll take a look at other ways that you can grow your group or grow your audience. One is from those prospecting groups. I'm going to stop just before I show you a subsequent way to do this. If you guys have questions about how to do this for your industry, how to do this for your niche, or how this applies to anything in your business, just drop them in the chat. And James, feel free to interrupt me. I know I've got a lot to say on this topic, so feel free to interrupt me if any questions come in, okay?
Okay, yeah. Just I would also second that the questions you have, if we don't answer them now, afterwards in the comments, I'll go through and answer all those questions for you.
Great. Let's take a look at the second place. So you can go into these prospecting groups and send some friend requests, giving your leads the option of joining your audience or not. The second awesome place on Facebook that you can get leads for free is through targeted content. Let me show you some examples here. Here's an example. This is from Amadeo, and he says, Anyone here miss getting the copy of a checklist for increasing testosterone for men over 40? Imagine you're targeting men. Imagine you're targeting men over 40. And judging by this, I believe this is for gay men over 40. This piece of content is so targeted. Wouldn't it be awesome if the people who are engaging on this piece of content could come over to your audience if this is who you're targeting? Here's another example. This is one of my own posts. I target business owners who are using Facebook to grow their business. Imagine that's who you're targeting. Here's a post, almost 800 comments, over 200 engagements of people who are looking for lead generation strategies on Facebook. If that's what you deliver, wouldn't it be awesome if you could take all these people who have clearly showed interest in this, if you could bring these people into your audience? Here's another example. This is someone saying, when you're first getting started using High Level, it's a software for your agency. So this is speaking to agency owners. Imagine you had a business where you targeted marketing agencies or sales agencies, and you get all these people engaging on a post like this. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could bring those people over into your audience? Well, that's exactly what we do. I'll show you how this works. What we do is we take a link from any post you find anywhere on Facebook. We go back over to Unipro, and we tell Unipro, we want to get leads from this post, not a group this time, from a post. You simply put in the link to the post that you want to prospect from. You tell Unipro how many leads you want. You tell Unipro what type of leads you want, and then you launch. And it goes through the same process. It goes through all the people who have been engaging on that post. It goes over to their profiles. It looks at who they are. It finds the best leads for you, sending them a friend request so they have the option of coming over into your audience. It's so powerful. Let's go take a look at the third way you can do this. There's 5 ways you can grow your audience. The third is through competitor ads. I'm going to push pause here for a second. I want you to think about who's a competitor who's really crushing it in your space. Can you think of someone who delivers a product or service similar to yours, and you would love to have their audience? They've done a great job of building their audience up, and you'd love to have their audience. Think about who that competitor is. Because I'm going to show you something here. Here's an ad that came through my Facebook feed, and this is targeting coaches. So this organization or this company, it's called Thought Leaders Institute. They target coaches. Imagine you also target coaches. In this case, they've got 423 comments and another 1,800 engagements on this ad. Well, guess who they're targeting? They're targeting coaches. Guess who's engaging? Coaches. If you want coaches, wouldn't it be awesome if you could take that audience and bring those leads over into your audience? I'll show you another example. Imagine you're targeting parents. So as a parent myself, I get served up with a lot of parenting ads. Here's a parenting ad I got, strategic parenting. It's targeting parents. Who's engaging on this? It's parents, right? 1,000 comments, 7,200 engagements. Wouldn't it be awesome if you were targeting parents, if you could take these parents and bring them into your audience? Or here's a yoga body targeting people with back issues, back pain. We got 32 comments, 513 likes. Same thing. Imagine you ran a health business where you're helping people with back pain. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could take these ads that are accumulating the exact leads you want, and you could bring those leads over into your audience? Well, we do the exact same process that I just showed you with targeting content. We find an ad like that. We bring it over to Unipro. We put the link to the ad right into Unipro, and then we tell Unipro, go get me those leads. That ad has already accumulated very targeted leads. Just get them for me. Go find the best ones. Give them the option of coming over into my audience. Just type power if you guys see the power of this, using other people's groups, other people's content, other people's ads to target those leads, but not stealing the leads. I have no interest in stealing leads or stealing clients. I'm simply sending a friend request saying, hey, do you like the looks of who I am? Would you like to connect? Would you like to come into my audience? Just type power if you see the power of that. Let's go back here and we'll take a look at the final 2. So we looked at prospecting groups. We looked at targeted content. We looked at competitor ads. You can also do this through industry leaders. So I'll ask you a similar question that I just asked a minute ago. Can you think of an expert in your particular niche, your particular industry, and that person, so it doesn't have to be a business, it's a person who they've developed an awesome following of the exact leads that you'd want? Can you think of that industry leader, that industry expert? I'll show you a couple examples. Here's Vince Del Monte. He's a friend of mine. He is a business coach for fitness coaches. So you can see here, he says he helps fitness coaches. He's developed a huge personal audience of fitness coaches. Wouldn't it be awesome if you were targeting fitness coaches, if you could target Vince's audience? Here's an example. Another friend of mine, Angela, she targets moms. She says she's the CEO and founder and fat loss coach at Fit Mama Coaching. Well, imagine you had a product or service for moms. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could take Angela's audience and connect with them? And we go through the exact same process. You can probably see a trend here by now. We go over to Unipro and we built this tool in because these are the types of things that my wife and I, we wanted to be able to do for our businesses. How does this one work? We put in the URL to the person's audience who we want to target. So in this case, you can see I've got Vince Del Monte. He was one of the examples I just showed. I've got his audience right here, the URL to his audience. And then I simply tell Unipro, what type of leads do I want to get? And I click on launch and Unipro goes to work for me. It's powerful stuff. This is the way that I built up an audience of over 30,000 very targeted leads without spending a dime on Facebook ads. I'm going to show you the last way. And the last way that you can build up leads and grow your audience is through Facebook suggestions. So as you do these 4 steps right here, you use prospecting groups, targeted content, competitor ads, and industry leaders. The Facebook algorithm, it starts to go to work. And the Facebook algorithm, it's very smart. It starts to see who you're connecting with. It starts to see who's accepting your friend request. It starts to see who's coming into your audience and engaging with you. And it starts making suggestions saying, hey, Dave, I saw that you're connecting with a lot of these people. Let me suggest some other people who I think would be good leads for you as well. Well, Unipro, it syncs with Facebook. And I'll show you last time here. Unipro has a tool called From Suggestions. It syncs with those suggestions from Facebook. I simply tell Unipro, hey, today I want to get 20 new leads. I can put in some more clarity here. I can give some specific targeting instructions just in case the Facebook algorithm missed something. I want to make sure these leads are exactly the type of leads I'm looking for. And then I click launch. And Unipro goes to work taking Facebook suggestions, connecting me with those people who the Facebook algorithm already told me are good leads. James, just before I go on, I'm going to stop there. Is there anything that you want to highlight from what I just shared? Anything that you think I missed? I know there was a lot there. What would you like to highlight to your audience?
Well, I can highlight a question I have here from Shirley. Shirley's wondering about, it looks like this is an automation process. And so what I want to highlight is in Shirley's question is about using AI or bots. Like, does this have a bot feel? Because it's not something that that I've experienced really in using this. And I just wondered if you had a perspective on that.
Shirley, great question. I'm so glad you raised that. I actually created a piece of content yesterday talking about my personal feeling towards AI and bots. For me, I don't know if you've ever had this, Shirley, or anyone else, where you have, it's clearly a bot that's commenting on your post. Shirley, have you ever had that before? Or you get a message from someone and it's clearly a bot? I have no interest in that. That is killing my leads. In fact, I want all of my leads to get personal attention from me. What this is doing is replicating the exact work that I used to have to do manually. So I used to manually go through these groups, this content, these ads, go through these industry leaders and go through suggestions. And I'd be going over to people's profiles and reading about who they are and then sending them a friend request or skipping over them. Now we've just automated that process. Those people that are on the receiving end, they have the exact same experience as if I did it personally. So I'm with you. No to bots. I do want to show you what sort of results you should expect when you start doing this process, though. I'm going to just show you a couple examples here. So here's Angie, and she said, just thought I'd post about the growth in my group since using Unipro. And you can see she had this group. I don't know if any of you guys have a Facebook group. We'll talk more about groups in a second. It wasn't growing. There's no leads coming in. She didn't have any new audience. And she started doing what we just talked about. And look what happened. Her group exploded. Here's another example. Julie, she said, I had 3,000 friends, but only 60 of them were active, meaning that Julie didn't have leads in her audience. It was just random people who weren't interested in her content. We're going to talk more about what to do with those people who aren't interested in your content. She said, I've gone through the process. Now I've got 5,000. So she's maxing out her friend list. 923 of them are active because she's bringing the right leads into her audience. Here's Chase. Same thing as we saw before. Chase started using Unipro. Her audience just explodes. She says she did a live training today. She felt on fire. The attendance was on point. She had the right people in her audience, and her audience was growing. I want to do some math with you guys because this is really important just to kind of quantify how powerful this is. Some recent research came out from the Growth Collective talking about the average cost per lead using Facebook ads. And across all industries, it was just under $20 per lead nowadays, $19.68. I'm going to be very conservative with you as to what to expect when you start using Unipro. This is very conservative. I'd rather under promise and over deliver. Conservatively, you can get 300 leads per month coming over to your profile. Conservatively, you can get 200 people joining your group. This is 500 leads on a monthly basis. If we take that 1968, which is the cost of doing this through Facebook ads, and multiply that by the 500 leads that Unipro can deliver to you, that's almost 10,000 leads per month. Just let that sink in. When you start doing the process we just looked at, your audience can be growing by 500 targeted leads every single month, saving you almost $10,000 if you were to try and replicate that with ad spend. It's literally mind-blowing. Now, you might have caught something that I said a few minutes ago. You might have heard me say, well, Facebook limits you to 5,000 friends. And maybe you were thinking, well, Dave, this seems like a flawed strategy. What happens when I get 5,000 friends? I can't add any more friends. And if you were thinking that, I'm glad you were thinking that. I'm going to show you what we've built in Unipro to overcome that exact challenge. There's a tool in Unipro called Scan Friend Activity, which Julie, I showed you that story from Julie a second ago, who's talking about the number of people in her audience who are active versus inactive. That's what Scan Friend Activity does, is it goes through all of your friends, those 5,000 friends, and it sees who's engaging with you, who's not engaging with you. And you'll see here what it does is very powerful. Let me open up, I'm going to open up 1,000, or sorry, let's do 50. We'll do 50 of my friends here. Unipro finds all of your leads who are in your friends list, and it says, okay, this person here, Dave, he's engaged with you 44 times. This is in the last 180 days. Todd, 5 times. And you can sort this. And here's what we do. We take all the people who haven't been engaging, and we sort them by the people who have been on our list for the longest. And then we start removing those people. You can actually see, this is a perfect example here. These people, their Facebook account is no longer active, but they were taking up spots in my friends list. Just think about this. I guarantee everyone here watching, if you run this scan, you're going to find the same thing. You have people in your friends list who don't even use Facebook. Those people are taking up a spot where a lead should be, and they're hurting your algorithm because these people can't engage with you. They can't see your content. They can't engage. They can't help your business grow. So simply what we do is we highlight all these people who haven't been engaging. I'm just going to tell Unipro, let's get rid of those people. Unipro is going to go to work. It's going to start removing those people from my audience to make room for new people, new leads who are actually interested. You can see it's gone to work there. 2 of those, we call them dead leads, are being removed from your audience. Let me stop that here because I do want to show you guys what's next. So you might ask that question, what do you do when you hit 5,000? Well, that's what we do, is we remove the dead leads to make room for new good leads. With Unipro, the key thing to understand here is that your Facebook audience is always growing with ideal leads, active, engaged, interested leads. That's the process we've got for growing your audience. That's step number 1. Now we're going to move on to step number 2. And I think this is the second step. I think this is the one that you guys are really interested in because, James, I know you're talking about nurturing. Would you say nurturing is more interesting to your audience than generating leads? Is that true?
I'd say that's true. Yeah.
Okay. If you guys are here to see how to nurture your leads, can you just type nurture in the chat? Just let us know if this is the thing that you're really interested in. If you're here and you're more interested in generating leads, just type in lead generation. And we just looked at 5 ways that you can do it for free on Facebook. So let us know, is it lead generation or is it more nurturing? Which one are you more interested in? Let's go through this. Step number 2, how do you nurture these leads? You got all these leads coming in. What do you do with them? I'm going to show you a common problem or a perception that I see a lot right now. So I saw this post come up from someone on Facebook, and she says, the algorithm is basically being a pain. None of my stuff is being seen. And then I had a little chuckle at this. She says, I'm tagging everyone. And she says, I know, I hate this too. But basically this sentiment, this complaint is, I can't grow my business because no one sees my content. And that's true. It's difficult to nurture your leads if they don't see your content. But what do we do about that? Do we do this? just start tagging people, tagging all of our followers or tagging everyone in our group. I don't know about you guys. I personally find this annoying if someone does this too frequently. Fortunately, there is a better way. Let me show you how it works. The first thing that's really important to understand is that if you want your leads to see your content, it's crucial that you engage on their content. Let me show you an example here. So Vanessa said she started using a tool, we'll look at it in a second, inside of Unipro called Gain Reciprocity that goes out and engages on other people's content. And Facebook sent her this message. It says, wow, you've increased visibility for 53 days in a row. So I want you to connect these dots here. Vanessa engaged on more people on her leads content. They engaged on her content and she got more visibility over and over and over again. How does this work? How do you do this? Let me show you. Shirley, going back to your question about bots or being authentic, we've really spent a lot of time analyzing the Facebook algorithm and thinking about how we authentically feel about growing our business. I never want to be sending out comments on someone's content that aren't authentic. However, what we've built into Unipro is the ability to give some support to our newest leads without putting weird bot comments on their posts. So that's how Gain Reciprocity works. Is I'm going to tell Gain Reciprocity to go out into my Facebook feed to see the content from my new leads, because we know that when you connect with someone on Facebook, Facebook's going to show their content to you. So I want to give likes to those leads to their content. I want to support them. I'm going to tell Unipro how many posts to give a like to. And then there's some more targeting options here. And then I simply click on launch. And Unipro is going to go over to, let me show you here. Unipro is going to go over to my feed here. And it's going to start looking for posts from my leads, from my audience. It's going to skip over sponsored posts. So I don't want to be liking a bunch of ads. It's going to skip over posts. You can set it to skip over posts from other groups. It'll skip over suggested posts. So if Facebook is suggesting that you follow some page, it skips over those and finds the content from your friends, your leads, and engages on their content. Now, this is really important for two reasons. Let me explain what happens when you do this. So first off, when you do this, your algorithm starts to heat up, we call it. Your algorithm starts to heat up because Facebook sees, oh, wow, James is out and he's engaging on people's content. He's doing what we want on Facebook. He's making Facebook a better place. Therefore, we're going to show his content to those leads as well. His content is going to get more visibility. That's the first thing. The second advantage of doing this, engaging on your leads' content, is I want you to think about how you feel as a person when someone supports you. If I were to love your post or engage on your piece of content, you get a little notification in Facebook. How does that make you feel? For me, I like it. It feels good that someone recognized what I put out there. And so you can imagine as your leads start seeing that you're supporting them, they start to feel good about you. They think, oh, wow, this person is so supportive. It's nice to be recognized. Then when they see your content, what are they likely to do? They're much more likely to engage. But you don't want to stop there. A lot of business owners, when it comes to building up relationships and nurturing their leads, they fall into one of these two common mistakes. The first mistake is they get a new lead, a new person comes into their audience, and they don't do anything. They just sit there and cross their fingers and hope that that lead's going to see their content and magically purchase from them. Unfortunately, business doesn't work that way. The other mistake is they go to the other extreme. I don't know if you guys ever had a message like this. This is a screenshot my wife sent to me. She said she got this new person that came into her audience, Jessica. The very first day Jessica was in her audience, she sent her this message. We guarantee 15 to 20 appointments a month, $290. That's all it costs, 100% money back guarantee. How do you feel when you get a message like this? James, do you get messages like this often?
All day.
All day. Yeah, me too. These are both the wrong way to go about nurturing your leads. You can't be silent, hoping that they'll somehow magically buy. You can't be aggressive, nor do you want to be aggressive. It turns off your leads. So, James, I'm assuming that when you get those messages about a sales pitch, what do you do with those messages?
I used to send them to the trash or find some way to deal with it. But nowadays I get so many that I block them.
Yeah. Same, block, ignore, and you can think about what's happening to their Facebook algorithm. Facebook sees they're getting blocked all day. It's a high likelihood that their account eventually will get shut down. It doesn't feel good to get spammed. We don't want to spam your leads. So what do we do instead? You're already engaging on their content. Here's the next step. You do want to start conversations with them. You do want to start conversations. Let me show you how this works. I'm going to go back over to Unipro, and we're going to go down to a set of tools here called the Message Hub, and we're going to send out messages to your newest leads. So in this case, I want to send out messages in Messenger. So this is a DM, a message in Messenger, to all my new leads from the past 24 hours. And here's what I'm going to write to those leads. I've got a template set up, and this is what they're going to get inside a Messenger. It's going to say, great to connect with you here. And then it will insert their first name, James. Hope you're having a good day so far. Or Unipro will rotate. I've got it set up so it rotates between these two messages. It'll say, hey, James, nice to connect with you here. Enjoy your day. Notice something about these messages. Do they talk about business? No. Do they make an offer? No. Do they ask about James's business or the lead's business? No. This is simply a, hey, nice to meet you, wishing you well message. That's it. Why do I do this? Well, we're already engaging on our leads' content to nurture those leads. But when I send that message, and when you start sending those messages, those leads, what you're going to find is a lot of leads will come back to you, and they'll simply say, hey, yeah, you too, Dave. Have a great day. Or they'll give you a thumbs up or a heart. And again, two really cool things happen. First off, the Facebook algorithm, it starts heating up. Facebook sees that you're having conversations in Messenger with these leads. You're not just engaging on their content, you're also in personal conversation. The second thing is, think about how those leads feel about you. They didn't get a sales pitch, but they also didn't get ignored. They got a nice, normal human message. It feels good to be recognized. So you can see how you're starting to nurture your leads through their content and through conversation. Results. Here's what you should expect. David Ogden, he's an online coach. He says, loving my engagement since using Unipro, having conversations with hundreds of people every week. Just being a normal, nice human on Facebook. The third thing that you're going to realize is that when you start doing all of this, you're going to get a lot more engagement on your content. And this is fantastic, right? Of course, you want engagement on your content. Now your content can begin nurturing leads for you. That's the goal, right? You want the Facebook system to do the work for you. But there is one problem. I see this problem all the time. I'm not going to ask you to comment about this in the chat, but if you can just do a little bit of a self-reflection, if you fall into this problem, just think about your content here as I show this to you. I just grabbed one person who I saw falling into this trap. This could be like any number of thousands of people who do this. So this person is a high performance coach. So it looks like a sales coach. When I went over to his profile, here's what I saw in terms of content that he was using to nurture his audience. This was the first post. It says, get paid what you are worth, nothing less. Okay. Motivational quote. Okay, cool. Second post was an opportunity to apply for a setter job. So it's a job application. Interesting. Third post was, this is why men can't ever win. And there's some sort of video meme here. That seems a little bit off. And then the fourth post that I saw was about a new rule, a new law that's coming into place that's banning non-competes. What's his content about? Imagine if you were a new lead who had come into his audience and this is what you saw. You'd have no idea what kind of benefit does he offer to you? What kind of relationship should you guys have? How can he help you? How can you help him? It's very difficult to nurture leads when you have disjointed content. This is where I asked you to do a little bit of a self-reflection. If you go back and think about the content that you've posted on Facebook, is it disjointed? Is it all over the place? Or do you have a very clear set of posts that are driving leads in a specific direction? Let me show you. This is what we want. We want to create content that guides your leads towards buying from you. Well, how do you do that? Here's the solution. Inside Unipro, I'll actually show this to you. Let me go over here. Inside Unipro, we have something called a content calendar. This is one of my favorite features of Unipro. All of my content is scheduled right in here. All of my posts, all of my emails, in my group, on my personal profile, it's all scheduled here because I want to make sure that my content is moving leads in the specific direction that I want them to move. So let me just show you a couple of my most recent posts. Here's a post that says, the fortune is in the follow-up has become bad advice. Nurture your leads well and they'll buy from you. No follow-up needed. So this is a quote about nurturing leads. Let's take a look at the next post. This says, in 2025, there will be no better way to nurture your leads and earn sales. And this was a long form written copy post about nurturing leads through content. Nurturing, nurturing. This is a poll inside my group. It says, a big lead nurturing problem. Your input, please. And then I'm getting people to vote on a problem when it comes to lead nurturing. So you notice the difference here, not disjointed content. This is all very sequential content that's talking about nurturing, that's warming up my leads and moving them in the direction I want them to go. Now, lo and behold, let me go back over to this content calendar, and you'll see here, well, this makes sense because for this month, my theme, the content I'm creating is all about nurturing. In a past month, let's go back here. 2 months ago, it was all about sales conversions. And so every month or every other month, the goal is to pick a theme, to create content around that theme, and start moving your leads in a direction where they're going to want to buy from you. No more disjointed content. I'm going to show you the result here when you start doing this. Vince, he says, super cool seeing engagement climb and climb. I've never had this many interactions on a post in forever. Angela, she says, I got 7 new clients in the last 7 days, booked 5 sales calls just last week, just following the content strategy taught here. The strategy works. Get engagement. You want your leads seeing your content, and you want to make sure that content actually nurtures your leads. The last step in this nurturing process is using email. Can you guys do me a favor, actually? Can you just type in the chat here, who's using email for email marketing if you nurture your leads via email? James, do you use your email list much for email marketing?
I do. And I have a question here from Lizzie, if you would like it.
Yeah, go for it.
She had a question, Lizzie, about the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And she heard that Facebook doesn't favor content that's auto-scheduled through calendars.
You are 100% correct. What we do is we strategize in that calendar, and then Unipro just has a copy paste function. So you just copy the content and manually paste it in for exactly that reason. Third-party schedulers who automatically do it can decrease your reach for sure. Good question. That's a high-level question. Well done, Lizzie. Let's talk about email. James, did you see any emails come in? Are your audience, are they using email for nurturing?
Oh yeah, they definitely use email.
Okay, if you're using email, then this is going to be right up your alley. My follow-up question to that, if you're using email, who here has a Facebook group that you use for your business? Can you just type group? Because if you're using a group and you're using email, the two need to go hand in hand. And I'm going to show you how that works. We want to make sure that you're growing your email list. Now, I'm sure that if you have a Facebook group, you're already familiar with what you can see over here. These are called the membership questions. So when people request to join your Facebook group, you can present them with 3 questions that they have to answer before they actually get into your group. And let's take a look at my questions because these are really strategic. There's a lot of psychology that goes into this. There's a lot of testing that went into these questions. The first question is, I'm trying to figure out, are they actually a targeted lead? Here's my question. This group is for online business owners only. What type of online business do you operate? If you have a group, I want you to think about this, the sequence of your membership questions. First off, if you're not using membership questions, please start. Second of all, if you don't have a strategic flow to your questions, steal this from me. First question, trying to find out, are they targeted lead? Second question is, you want to find out, where are they in the buying cycle? So are they actually looking for help? Let me read this question out to you. It says, we put together a training on basically lead generating on Facebook. Would you like to see how it works? So if someone says, yes, I have an online business, this is what I do, and then they say, yes, I would like help with generating more leads, now I know I've got a really good lead here. Third is, I want to follow up by email. Third question says, what's your best email address where we can connect you with our private trainings, tools, and resources? Now, I said there was some real psychology here. I'm not going to go too much into this, but for anyone who's using membership questions in a Facebook group, please pay attention to what I'm about to share. This is very important. It's very important that these questions start out the simplest and easiest to get an answer from, and then they get more challenging. What do I mean by that? Imagine if my first question said, give me your email address. Is anyone going to give me their email address? No. Instead, I start with a very simple question that everyone can answer without much thought. What's your business? People will type in marketing, or someone will say fitness coaching, or someone will say, I help parents. Very simple to answer. And then what I did is I just got a yes. I got some buy-in from that lead. So when they go to the second question, they're more likely to also answer this one. And so now I made it really easy. They just check a box. By the time they get down to the third question, where I'm actually asking them something quite difficult for them to give up, no one really loves giving out their email address, but they've already said yes here by answering. They've already said yes here by answering. And so the result is they're going to say yes here, and they're going to give you their email address. Now, those email leads, those leads that you're getting, need to go directly onto your email list. I'll show you here. We use Unipro. I'll show you how to do this in a second to build a database of leads. Actually, let me stop sharing screen. I'll show you here. As I accept people into my Facebook group, this is the database that's filled up with all those leads. So the people who come into my group, all their answers to their questions, including their email address, are dropped right in here. And you can see literally there's thousands and thousands of leads who've come through my Facebook group. They've answered those questions, and I know exactly who they are, what type of business they operate, what they need, and their email address. Now, their email gets pulled from here and gets put over onto my email list. I use Go High Level to send my emails. Here's a list of everyone who's joined the group. Their email automatically gets populated over here so that I can start nurturing them through email. Let's take a look at this actually in action here. So I'm going to go over to Unipro, and there's a section here called Facebook Group Tools. And I'm going to click on Accept New Members. I'm going to choose one of my groups. I'm going to click on Manage Group. And then you'll see something really cool here. So this is the regular page where you can accept or reject people who want to join your group. You'll see that there's a different button here. It says YP Approve. That means Unipro Approve. And so I look at this first person here. Okay, they're from a location that could be a good lead for me. Okay, they gave a good answer for their business. Yes, they're interested in getting more help, and I got their email address. YP Approve. That person is going to be approved, and they're going to be put into my database here, and they're going to automatically be uploaded over into my email list so that they can automatically start receiving an email nurturing sequence from me. And then I can go through each of these people. Perfect. Mindset coach. Okay, this person is already getting lots of leads. That's cool. She still gave me her email address. I'm going to approve her. She now goes onto my email list and automatically starts getting nurtured. I know that's a lot to take in. If you guys have questions about that process, any of the pieces in the process, just ask them. And James, feel free to interrupt me if there's anything that you think your audience would like some clarity on.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good opportunity to let everyone know that this is a lot of the things that you might be doing already that are taking you a lot of time as independent tasks that might take up the majority of your day. So what Dave's going through and showing you is all the sequences that are automated and done for you that are going to free up your time, because I know from speaking to people in this community over the years that the number one thing that you would love to see is a lot of the business side and the ins and outs to be taken care of for you, to free up your time and energy in order to do what you're truly passionate about and love, which is sharing your natural gifts with your clients.
So good. And I can relate. I've been there. I used to do it manually, and then I hired an assistant to do it manually. And then we thought there's got to be a better way. So now we've automated up the entire process.
Yep.
This is what we got for lead nurturing. You guys see how we get those leads coming into your audience. Here's how you nurture them very, very quickly. Some examples of results that we get as our clients in Unipro and the Unipro program start doing this. Armin here, he's a beast, man. He's awesome. He says $90,000 in cash collected in 5 days, all through organic, no ads, just using Unipro, and he's got a setter. Here's Jenny. She says collected 14K in cash, 32,000 this month. This was the key thing, James, to what you just said. She says this was with minimal effort. She just takes the processes we're looking at right here and just runs Unipro. And then for me, James, you probably do the same. I run Unipro, I go eat breakfast. I run the next thing in Unipro, I go to the gym. Yep. Unipro does the work. It frees us up to do things that are more important for us.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the last step here, because you're probably wondering, well, how do I tie this all up? How do I close the deal? How do I sell? We're going to talk about 3 ways to make sales. The first is from these conversations that you've already started. Let's take a look. We're going to take a look at a practical example here. So you want to sell to your hottest leads. Here's an example of a live training that my wife and I did inside our Facebook group. And you can see that because we're using Unipro, Unipro is driving a lot of content views. So we had about 1,200 people watch this live training. And then again, Unipro also trains our leads to engage with us. So you can see we got 1,000 comments here. What's the next step? Well, we want to be following up with these leads in the DMs. These people, they're the people who have shown their hot leads, right? They're interested. They're clearly watching your content. They're engaging. Now it's your job to follow up with them. In the past, this was a daunting task. After a live training, if I got a couple hundred comments, honestly, I dread it because I knew I needed to follow up with them, but it was so much effort. I'm going to show you what we do now instead. I'll do a practical example with you here. So here's a training that I did recently, and this one's all about the Facebook algorithm. And you'll see here, in this case, there's 492 comments. Well, what I want to do is I'm going to take this post and I want Unipro to follow up with all the leads who engaged on this post, because the leads who are engaging, they're the ones who are hottest, right? They're paying attention. Here's how we do it. I'm going to go over to Unipro and I'm going to go over to, it's called a contact list. I want Unipro to make a list of leads for me from my post. I'm going to call this engaged on live training, and you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to put in the URL and I'm going to tell Unipro, I just want the leads who commented. I'm going to click on load, and Unipro right now, what it's doing, it's going over to that live training. It's going through all 400 and some comments, finding the unique individuals who engaged on that training. And it's going to put those people together on a list for me. Once they're on a list, I can tell Unipro, okay, I want to send a follow-up message to all those leads. I'll give you some examples because I know you guys really want an authentic sounding conversation. You never want to feel like you're a bot or it's something that's automated. So what I might do, let's go over back to the live training. This was about Facebook's algorithm. I might tell Unipro to follow up with all the leads who engaged on this piece of content and just simply ask a question. It might say, hey, James, saw you on the training about Facebook's algorithm. What do you think your next step is? And you see how that simple question, it actually feels like a caring message, right? I'm taking my time to follow up with James to see, what does he need help with? What's his next step? Did he understand what he needs to do now? And imagine if you did that with all the leads who engaged in all your pieces of content. How many more sales would you be getting through that process? Let's go back over here. And you can see Unipro, it's going to work. It's found 63 so far leads who engaged on that post who need a follow-up from me. And then when this list is created, I'll send out that message to all those leads. While that's working, let's just take a look at the next step here. We want to make sure that you're following up with all your leads over in the DMs. This is an example here of what do you expect as a result from doing this? I guarantee that right now you've got money sitting on the table if you're not following up with all your leads. That was the case for Shelly here. She's one of our Unipro users. She started following up with her leads, doing exactly what I just showed. She says, amazing. I just got $4,000 in sales following up in the DMs. Didn't do it all manually. Unipro did it for her. Here's another example. This is from Brian. He says, signed up 9 clients so far. And he says, this is so cool. The less I'm available, the more people want to purchase. He's not hounding them in the DMs. When they show interest, he's simply following up to show that he actually cares, that he's actually there for them. Let's go back here and we'll take a look. Yeah, it's so cool. So I've got a list. I'll do this actually after this training. I need to follow up with these leads, over 115 leads. I'm going to let that keep on running here. So you guys see the impact here. When you get people into conversation, then it's your job to follow up with them when they show that they're interested. So that's what we do is we start these conversations. When people show they're engaging with you, follow up with them. The next step is we want to make sure that we're prospecting from your content, your most engaged content, and turning that into sales. I'm going to show you guys another practical example here. And again, do stop me if you need any clarity on any of these steps here. Here's a practical example of how we could do this. So we're going to sell from your content, not just from the DMs. Before I get into this, let's just go back here and we'll take a look at the result. So Unipro's gone through that post. Let's select all these leads. And there's 123. I'm going to click on create list. There's my list, 123 leads. And now I can tell Unipro, send a DM to all these leads. Ask them a question, follow up with them, spark the conversation in Messenger so that we can work this towards a sales conversation. It's as simple as that. Let's talk about selling from your content. Selling from your content, here's the example. So here's a post that I created. It says, in case you missed this, Facebook, it's got 4 new lead gen features. All of them are for free. Anyone want to test them? This post got a lot of engagement, so almost 800 comments here and 232 likes. Previously to Unipro, again, I'd sort of be dreading this. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. Yes, I want engagement, but the more engagement I got, it just meant I had to spend more time following up with all these leads. Well, now Unipro does that for you. Check this out. Heidi here, she engaged on this post. She says, I want this. She shows interest. Unipro does 3 things for me here. It likes Heidi's comment. Heidi will get a notification from Facebook saying, Dave liked your comment. So now I'm in her top of mind. Then Unipro for me replies to her comment, and it also tags her. This gives Heidi 3 notifications reminding her, you, Heidi, you engaged on Dave's content, and he's following up with you. He's delivering what you asked for. You'll notice here it says, Heidi, I just sent you a DM. It's over in Messenger. Did you see it? Unipro also sends her a DM. And you can see here I delivered Heidi with a piece of value, and she says, thanks, Dave. Excuse me. So from a nurturing perspective, does Heidi feel cared for? Heck yeah. And now I took this engagement from this piece of content. Unipro automated the entire follow-up process, and I'm into a sales conversation. I sent Heidi over to my Facebook group where I know she's going to be nurtured. I know she's going to get follow-up. I know she's going to get an offer. There's a high likelihood she's going to become my client. Now, maybe at this point you think, okay, Dave, I'm doing a lot of this stuff manually. I'm going to tell you about something that I used to do. It was the most painful part of my business. So my wife and I, we used to own a business coaching business, and we were doing several millions of dollars per year in sales, but it was painful. So one of our jobs was we basically took all of our leads who were engaging with us, we put them into a spreadsheet, and then we kept track of where they were in the buying process. Were they a warm lead? Were they a cold lead? Did we make them an offer yet? Do we need to follow up with them? It was painful, but we wanted to make sure we didn't drop any leads. Same with you, right? You don't want money falling through the cracks. When we looked at this problem, we thought, there's got to be a better way. We got to be able to fix this. And what we did was in Unipro, we've now built in a system where Unipro tracks all of our leads for us. I'm actually going to just go over here. I'll screen share for you guys. And you can see over here, all of my leads. Here's a brand new lead. I'm just going to label them as welcome. All my leads are labeled. And there's 4 different steps in the nurturing process that it's crucial. You need to know where your leads are in these 4 steps. If they're a welcome lead, that means you've simply had that initial welcome conversation with them. They're not nurtured at all. There's no way you should make these leads an offer. They haven't been nurtured enough. However, after they've been welcomed and they spend some time with you, notice that these leads are now in the nurture category. These are people who have engaged on your content. Maybe they asked you a question. Maybe they joined your Facebook group. They're not a cold lead. They're now a nurtured lead, but they still haven't received an offer. You'll notice over here, I've got the 4 stages. We call this the money funnel. We've got our cold leads, the welcome leads. They become nurtured leads as they engage with your content. Then you make them an offer when they're ready to buy, and some of them are going to become clients. Now, of course, not every lead becomes a client, but this system ensures that we never drop a lead. And it's all included here. I'll show you something really cool. If I wanted to find all my nurtured leads, these are just leads from the past 2 days. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to tell Unipro, give me a list of everyone who's in the nurture category. Boom. Unipro shows me all these people are in the nurture category. So now it's easy to follow up with them, make offers, and make sales. Let me go back over here. This is how we get sales from your content. Unipro engages your leads, messages your leads, and then we label your leads in Messenger so your leads get offers at the time they're most likely to buy. Here's an example. Robert sent this to me. He said, following this process, the one we just looked at, just made my first sale using Unipro. So easy. And I said, how much was the sale? He says $3,000. Very exciting. Just about a week ago, Marcella, she said, I just had my first $20,000 month. I was typically doing $4,000 a month. She started following the process we just looked at, making sales in Messenger, making sales from content. There's one more way to make sales. Once you built this whole system, last thing I'm going to show you here is how to sell from your emails. Here's just one of the ways that we like to do it. I'm going to show you again a practical example using email to sell. Here's a screenshot of one of the emails that I've sent out to my list. And you'll notice it's got an image here of one of my Facebook posts. And there's a link here that's directing people back to that post from my email. Well, why would I want to do that? I want my email to drive people over to my post. You can do this as well. This is going to spark your algorithm. More people are going to be engaging on your content. Facebook's going to see that more people are engaging, and it's going to show your content to more people. That's exactly what this link is doing, is directing people over to my content. Now your Facebook algorithm strengthens. This allows you to be faster at nurturing your leads, which equals more sales. It's exactly what you want. So we're using Facebook to build your email list. Then we use your email list to drive people back to Facebook. You can see how this cycle gets those leads nurtured very quickly. It makes it a whole lot easier to sell. This was cool. Drew in our Unipro group, he says, he's following this process. He collected 170 emails and he's collecting phone numbers. He went live using the process that we just showed, using email to direct people back to his content, had 60 people on his live. Normally he says I'd have 20 on a good day. Here's Andrea. She says, I just signed up for Unipro on Friday. So this is Sunday, 3 days later, I already generated $3,000 in sales following these steps. I know that was a lot, but that covers how to make more sales. And this is your sales funnel. We take leads from Facebook. We bring them into your audience. We nurture your leads using Facebook and using email, making them offers along the way. It's literally as simple as that. Now, you might be wondering at this point, okay, Dave, that was a lot. What is my next step? I'm going to show you something really cool that James and we put together for you guys. And James, are you able to drop this link in the chat for people? I know it's a bit of a long link.
Yeah, it's human design roadmap.com/Unipro. And I'll put that in the link in the chat for everybody.
So yeah, if you can go to this link here, I'll show you guys what we put together for you. So humandesignroadmap.com/Unipro. And what I'm going to do is I'll show you when you click on that link, here's where you're going to go. It's going to take you over to the website for Unipro. I know we just sort of scratched the surface on this system. James is using it. I'm using it. A lot of online business owners are using this system to grow their businesses through Facebook. When you come over to that link, so humandesignroadmap.com/Unipro, you can learn even more. What all does Unipro do? You can watch a full tutorial where I walk you through the entire process here. You can learn about who it works for, what sort of results to expect. Everything you need to know about Unipro is right here. Then when you're ready, what I'd like you to do is click on this button that says join now. Because I realize at this point, one of two things has happened. Either you've been with us today and you can just see the value in this and you think, Dave, James, like this is what I need, and you're ready to dive in. For you guys, awesome. Come on over here. And you can see that there's a couple different options. So you can either purchase Unipro annually. You'll get access to everything we just showed today, plus much more than that. And it works out to about $142 a month on an annual subscription. If you'd like to join us on a monthly basis, there's an option to join for $197 per month. Now, what's all included in this? This is really important. Not only are you going to get the Unipro software, I need to emphasize this, you get unlimited use of the Unipro software. I know that there's some softwares out there that maybe you buy the software and it allows you to get a certain number of leads or send a certain number of messages. That's not how Unipro works. The tools that I showed you today and the tools that we didn't get to today, you have unlimited access to those tools. In addition to that, we have built into Unipro a lot of strategy. How do you get more engagement on your content? What sort of content to put into your calendar? How to DM people after they engage? All that sort of strategy is also built into Unipro. And you get full access to all of our Facebook strategy. The last thing here, really important, is just recently we started offering unlimited support and coaching. So on a weekly basis, we have coaching calls happening live inside our Facebook group. We have an amazing Facebook community where you can ask any questions about growing your business and using Unipro to do so. All of that is included in addition to some amazing bonuses. Now, when you go over to that first page describing Unipro, you'll be able to take a look at all the bonuses there. We have some amazing bonuses right now. All of that's available. Now, if you've been thinking, okay, this seems good, I'm not sure if I'm ready to invest yet, James has added something. So he messaged me a couple days ago. He's like, Dave, I want to give my audience something really special when they join Unipro. James has just seen the value firsthand of using the system. And so he really wanted to make sure you guys are excited to join. And so he sort of sweetened the pot, so to speak here. Let me show you what James added. And James, I'll get you to jump in here in a second and tell us a little bit more. James has a human design entrepreneur's method, this course that he's built. And I know, James, I was taking a look actually at your sales page today. I know it sells regularly for just about $1,000, $997. And you've been so generous to give this for free to everyone who signs up for Unipro today. James, tell us, if you were to say what one, maybe your favorite thing about this course or the most powerful thing from this course that people will get, what would you say?
Well, Michaela asked the question earlier about how does all of this relate to human design? I would
Mhm.
say that's the number one question I get because people are so driven to learn about themselves and through their chart and human design. So it's going to walk you through the principles of your business through your human design chart and how it all relates to you specifically, because I know that's what people want to know about the most. And then it also is going to answer a lot of the questions you have that Dave may have gone through today about, well, how do I do that? What are some maybe of the more basic principles of starting a business? How do I get an email list going? How do I start my social media? It's all the foundational principles that you're going to need that are going to complement everything that is going to also be automated through the Unipro software. So it's comprehensive of whether you're just starting out with your business or you're advanced, kind of the A to Z of all of the business building questions integrated with your human design chart. And on top of that, you have the automation that's going to free you up so you have way more time to do what you love.
Mm, so beautiful. So you get the automation tools that we looked at today using Unipro. You get the Facebook strategy that we just lightly touched on today. And then making it very specific, James put together this entire curriculum all about how to apply human design to that entrepreneurial process, really tying this all together. That's a bonus for you for everyone who signs up using James's link. So going back here, humandesignroadmap.com/Unipro. You got to go through that link. When you go through that link, we'll see that you were with us today, and James will make sure that you get access to that course 100% for free.
And Dave, I got one more thing to add to that.
Please.
Because I would really love everyone in the audience to be able to experience the ease of this process. And I know that there's always ongoing questions as well. So the first people, if you decide it's what you'd like to do, the first 5 people will also have 60 days. So that's 2 months of direct personal messenger support with me to make sure that you're on the right track.
Wow. Okay, this was a bonus. I didn't even know about that, James. You are very generous. So for 5 people who get in, so we'll be watching for the first 5 people who get in. James is going to walk you through these steps personally, in addition to you having this course. And I know, James, this is a self-paced course, it says here. So they have access to the curriculum in here ongoing, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Now, for those of you guys who are just saw this and thought, okay, this is for me, I definitely want to join. Maybe you're over here right now and you're just about to check out. Don't check out just yet, because there's one more thing that I want to show you that James and I put together for you guys today. So not only to get access to Unipro, get access to the strategy, get access to our Unipro community, get access to our curriculum, get access to the coaching calls, the support. Not only do you get James's $1,000 course at no extra charge, not only do you get access to James willing to invest some time into your business, there's something else that I want to show you. This is for today only. So if you guys are here with us today, I want to show you this. If you decide to join the annual Unipro plan, it gives you about a 28% savings. So like I said, it works out to about $142 a month when you join and pay annually. But in addition to that, everyone who joins today on that annual plan, we, as friends of James, so my wife and I, we agreed that we were going to gift you an additional 3 months for free. So that's an extra $591 value. Now, I need to emphasize that's only for annual plan memberships. You got to go through this link. When you go through this link, then we know that you're James's friend. And because you're a friend of James, you're a friend of ours. And then we will gift you the additional 3 months for free, in addition to your annual membership over at Unipro. So hopefully you guys are really excited about this. I can't wait to start working with you. And I know James is excited to start working with you to build all this into your business. James, that's what I've got for everyone today. Any questions, any comments, anything you want to clarify?
The one thing I want to clarify, I'm not sure if everybody caught, was if you're currently using Go High Level at all. I believe that costs alone a couple $100s. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah, some it depends. Ranges between $100 to $500 depending on which version you're using.
Okay, I wanted to emphasize that if anybody's using Go High Level, that's something that was recently featured was that you get Go High Level for free as part of Unipro as well. So it could completely replace that monthly subscription.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me just go back over here. When you click on the link that we gave you, you're going to notice that at the top menu here, there's a bonuses link. Click on that, and it'll take you down to all the bonuses you get today. The first one being Unipro plus Go High Level. I just want to explain, because I know I get a lot of questions about this. Why are we giving Go High Level away for free? For Lucy, for my wife and I, we really use two main software to grow all of our businesses. Unipro to grow our audience, to engage our audience, to find leads, to nurture leads. And then Go High Level is the CRM that does all of our contact lists, our emails, our funnels, our websites. Those are the two that we put together, and they just work so well together. So we really want all of our clients to have access to this. So what we've done is anyone who joins Unipro also gets an unlimited account to Go High Level, your own personal Go High Level account. Now, sometimes people will say, well, I already have a Go High Level account. And then that's cool. You know, this is a free gift. If you want to keep your existing Go High Level account, you can. However, many Unipro members, when they come over, if they already have their own Go High Level account and they're paying maybe $100 or $200 or whatever it is a month, they simply port that Go High Level account over. And we have an expert on our team who's an expert in all things Go High Level. It's very easy to transfer your account over to the free account with Unipro. So if anyone's using Go High Level, my recommendation would be to take advantage of the free account and save yourself whatever it is you are paying for that Go High Level account.
Mm-hmm.
James, thanks for bringing that up.
I appreciate you clarifying that. And I've got a question from Denise. And she's wondering, I believe her question is about Facebook profile, which you covered, Facebook profiles and business pages. But I think she's wondering if you need to have a group. Do you need to have a Facebook group for this to work, or can you only use your Facebook profile?
Yeah, what you just need a Facebook profile. You have to have a profile. A group is a bonus. Groups used to be extremely valuable because we were capped at just 5,000 friends on Facebook and previously couldn't have followers through our Facebook profiles. If you are using your profile now, you can have 5,000 friends and unlimited followers, so your audience can grow as big as you want just using your profile. Good question. Any other questions coming in there?
Let me see. Angie says she has a Go High Level account. Will she be able to import it? It's franchised through a different provider. So her question is, can she import her current Go High Level account into Unipro?
Yeah, there's two different ways to do it. And I'm not going to get into the ins and outs from a tech perspective. Like I said, we have an expert on our team who helps with that. But yeah, there's two different ways to take everything from your existing account and bring it over to the free one that you get when you join Unipro. It brings everything, your funnels, your contacts, your automations, everything. Good question.
Okay, and Shirley, hi Shirley, it's really nice to have you here. She's said a lot of amazing things about the course. She just started a month ago. She has ConvertKit. She's wondering if a VA could help her with the port over, or the crossover to that.
Shirley, if you could clarify, are you looking to move ConvertKit to Go High Level? Because if that's what you're looking to do, yeah, basically all you need to do is download your email list from ConvertKit, and then you upload them as a CSV, a spreadsheet file, into Go High Level. And then from there, you can use Go High Level to send your emails. I don't know what you're paying for ConvertKit, but you would be able to cut that cost out and just use Go High Level. Yeah.
Okay, she says, yeah, it's just email list.
Yep. Yep. So you can do that. I used to use MailChimp, and then I switched over to Go High Level as well. And it was way cheaper and works just as well.
And then a question from Lizzie. She's wanting to know does it integrate with, what's the name of the software that links platform? Oh, I think she means, what's that universal?
Yeah. Zapier, I'm assuming.
Zapier, that's it. She couldn't remember the name, right? Lizzie, I think that's what you're talking about, is Zapier. Does it integrate with that?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we do. So when we bring leads over to that database that I showed you, that spreadsheet database, we use Zapier. There's some other ones that you can use as well that basically takes those leads and sends them wherever you want. So it can go to Go High Level. It could go to any CRM platform, any email service. It can go anywhere you like. Yeah.
Great. So yes, Lizzie, it does.
Good question. You got some techie audience here. I appreciate these questions. These are very advanced questions.
It's a smart audience for sure. So
What?
if anybody has more questions for Dave, I know that a number of people shared that this was really useful for them. I mean, this training alone is going to help you and give you lots of ideas with how to create genuine content that doesn't necessarily start with messengers and calls to do the cold pitches, but this is all going to be in the organic category that I know everybody is looking for. If you comment design as well right now, I have some resources that I can send you that have to do specifically with human design, because I know that people, again, have that continued question of how does this apply more to my chart and my design. So that's even a free resource right now. If you comment design, I'll send you those resources.
Well, James, I appreciate you hosting this. I appreciate you having me here to share today. What I'd say to everyone is I'm in the group there with you guys. If you have any questions for James, obviously James will be able to answer. If you have anything specific about Unipro, feel free to tag me. Just tag me in the comments. Dave Smith, it's very easy to remember. You see it on the screen there. Tag me. I'm happy to answer any questions about Unipro or Facebook marketing. I want to make sure everyone who watches this now live with us or as a replay, you guys see how easy it is. This is my biggest thing right now. The biggest thing that I really want everyone to understand about Facebook. Facebook's not a mystery. There's a lot. We looked at that one post from that lady who said, Facebook, the algorithm, it's killing me. No one's seeing my stuff. Facebook just has a certain set of steps. And when you play the game, you follow the steps, it rewards you. It's not complex. It's not complicated. It's very simple. You just need to do it. So if you have any questions, tag me in the comments. I'm happy to help out.
Thanks so much, Dave. It's been a real pleasure having you here. And thank you, everybody, for attending. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.